Yeah, hi guys. A very happy new year to all. Hope I'm loud and clear. So without wasting any time, let's start the today's session. So guys, my name is Saurabh Gupta. As Mehul described me, I will tell you that I'm a 2012 pass out. I was hired by the Lync as GET, and there I worked for 7 years. And the past 3.5 years, I've worked in the Jindal Group. So mostly I've done my entire work in the construction management field only. And during this tenure I have got some certifications also, but these certifications, if anybody is pursuing, they can get only after 5 to 7 years of experience only. So this is the favorite topic of mine, project planning and scheduling, because I believe that everything is related to the time, and even in our construction projects. So today we'll be going to discuss about this topic. Einstein describes time. He did a lot of research on time. Even Elon Musk says that time is everything. So how to plan the things, and even in construction projects, why we emphasize on the timing. So we will be covering those aspects. So first of all, let's see that we'll be starting with very basic, that what is construction project and what is the role of a planning engineer, that we are going to discuss first. Second thing, we are going to discuss about the project planning. And okay, somebody said that you start your video. Okay, all right. All right, great. So second thing, we are going to discuss about the project planning and its importance, why this project planning and scheduling is so important, that we are going to discuss. Then there are a lot of levels in scheduling level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what are these different levels of schedules? What is the purpose of it, that we are going to discuss. Lastly, very basic thing, that we have understood the terminologies, but how to prepare a schedule of a project, that we are going to discuss. And lastly, what is baseline schedule and what are the other aspects related to the scheduling. And guys, whatsoever is coming on your mind, maybe in between, because don't hold that thought. Whatsoever is coming in your mind, put it in the chat box, so that we can have that query and we can resolve it in between the way. So first of all, let's discuss about the construction project and role of a planning engineer. So we'll start with the project. So project is basically, it is defined by one of the body. This body is PMI, Project Management Institute. It's an American body. They have defined the project. They have defined that this is an temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. So let's say that if you are having one project that you have to complete the BTech, that's one sort of project. And from any of the example and with the definition, we can emphasize that what are the major aspects of this project, that it's a limited time period. It's not like that it's an ongoing process. In factory it happens. If some factory is there and they are making the cars or any pipe or any kind of object, then it's a recurring process. Same times it will be happening again and again, but it doesn't happen in the project. Project has a definite start and a definite ending. So the time period is defined. That's the logic of a project. And ultimately, by completing that project, we will be having something. Either it will be a product or it will be a service, any result or any goal which we have been achieved by completing that project. So now, what is construction project? The activities related to the construction activity. if we are building something or, renovating something, those are called the construction projects. So on a broad term basis, we can bifurcate the construction projects into two parts. One is the building projects. So building, like, if any high-rise building is getting constructed, or if a factory like Amazon is coming, Qualcomm is coming, or Flipkart, they require one factory, another factory is required by the Maruti. So these all are the factories. So this is one kind of domain, which is a very big domain, building and factories. Second kind of domain is infrastructure domain. So this infrastructure domain is what? Because India is a developing nation, and to become a developed nation, a lot of infrastructure is required. Only then we can reduce the cost of our supply chain management, and a lot of investments will be happening. So therefore, a lot of roads will be required, highways will be required, railway will be required, metro will be required, a lot of airports will be required. Similarly, we will be requiring a lot of water projects, from river to the house, and wastewater disposal from house to the sewage treatment plant. So likewise, this infrastructure projects, which is carrying a lot of under domains. So that is why in India, anybody can emphasize, currently we are having almost 8,000 plus infrastructure projects which are in pipeline from the government initiative. So this is the kind of thing which India is having. A lot infrastructure and building projects are coming, so that India can become a second number of the country all over the world. Right now it's on the 5th position with respect to the economy. So to become the second number of economy, they require a lot of infrastructure projects. To become a developed nation, they require a lot of infrastructure projects. Now let's come into the topic, project life cycle. So what's a project life cycle? So we know that a project is there with a limited time period with a definite goal. So we can define the entire project into 5 phases, starting with the initiation. So we'll be taking one example. Let's say we have to make one flyover project. Government wants that project because so much congestion is there at some place. So they'll be floating the tenders to so many parties, construction companies like Tata, Lync, Shapoorji, GR Infra. So these parties will be bidding. They'll be participating in the bidding, and the whosoever will be at the L1 position, the contract will be given to that contract company. So now there are two parties. One is client, second is contractor company. Now this contractor company has got that tender. Let's say in 2 years, they have to construct this flyover. So they will be completing this flyover in 2 years. But to do that, they will be first doing the planning. How they will be completing this flyover in 2 years. What activity they will be doing in this month, weekly basis, daily basis. That is the role of planning. And then the execution will be happening after the plan. Then people will be going to the site engineers, they will be doing the construction activity, they'll be doing everything based on the plan. But during this period, the planning engineer will be monitoring how this execution is going, whether it is going as per the plan or not. So they will be getting the progress reports on periodic basis from the site team, and then they will be evaluating whether this project is moving as per the plan or not. Lastly, once everything is achieved, whatsoever has been mentioned in the contract document that has been accepted by both the parties, client and contractor, then the project will be closed. So these are the 5 stages. Now in this today's class, today's webinar, we are going to discuss about this planning. So now let's understand, we have understood that this project is there, the project life cycle is there, but some people will be required. Civil engineers will be required, or even the mechanical and electrical engineers working in the construction industry will be required to complete this project. So how does this project team look like? Generally, on broad basis, we can quantify this entire project team into 3 parts. So one part is the project management office. So that is called the PMO. This PMO basically takes care of the 2 major aspects, that is time and cost, because every project, we started with the flyover project as an example. So a flyover can be of 200, 300, 500 crore rupee. Let's say that's 500 crore rupee. So somebody will be doing the costing of it. They will be analyzing the cost of it. Then they will be analyzing and monitoring the cost. Second thing is the time. Now we know that 2-year time slot is there in which we have to complete this flyover. But what will happen if we'll not be completing? So as per the contract document, which will be mentioned in mostly contracts, there will be a penalty. Let's say that in 2 years, you have completed only 70% work. Then for the 30% work, there will be huge penalty. So then the profit will be gone and the company will not be gaining anything from that project. So that is why time is very important aspect. Other aspects are like contracts in the project team. So under the contracts, procurement department will be there, who will be procuring all the material and services. Quantity survey is there. These people will be doing the tendering and billing process. Then construction department is also there, and under the admin, few people will be there like HR and other. Yeah. Great. So penalty means, the client will be saying, if you will not be completing the project in 2 years, which is defined in the contract document, then they'll be leveraging for this 500 crore rupee project. We have completed 350 crore rupee, 150 crore rupee work is pending. For that 150 crore rupee, if you will not be completing daily, they'll be deducting some, let's say 10 lakh rupee, or depending upon 1% of the remaining work as per the contract condition. So that will be the penalty of it. So now let's understand. Okay, PMO not clear. Okay, PMO basically is project management office. Okay, so under the project team, there are 3 major departments. One department is the project management office. So in this, the civil engineers are working as a planning engineer or cost controller. So they will be managing the entire project time aspect and cost aspect. Second department is contracts department. So this contracts department does all the procurement, and then they do the quantity survey, tendering, how to get the more and more contract from the whatsoever has been published by the client. Third department is the construction manager. So these people will be working at the site level, but the PMO people and contracts people, they will be working in the office only. All right. So now let's move to the next section, which is project planning and its importance and scheduling levels. So what is basically this project planning? So project planning is the technique to determine the time frame and schedules to complete the project tasks in this stipulated period. So let's say that this is okay, one kind of definition, but basically if you are going from your home to college or your location, then you will be planning how you will be going and reaching to that particular destination. Here, the project planner is basically a civil engineer. So he knows that by reading the contract document that we have to complete this project into 2 years. And these are the tasks. Let's say for this flyover, they have to do the excavation, they have to do the foundation work, they have to do pre-casting work, then they have to do the launching of girders, and then finally they have to make the road on that flyover. So all these tasks have been, scope has been given in the contract document. So then he will be doing the planning. So he'll be making one execution strategy. How do they want to do? Everything they want to do as per the cast in situ. Cast in situ means at the site level only, or they want to some prefabricate some material, then transport that material, and then place those materials at the flyover. So they'll be making one execution strategy. So first they will be planning this execution strategy. Based on that execution strategy, they'll be making the schedules. Like we will be completing, let's say in first 3 months, they'll be completing the procurement part. First, they will be buying the concrete, steel and everything. Then in meanwhile, the design will also be completed in first 2-3 months by the design department. That's a separate department. Then in the first 6 months, they'll be completing the foundation activity. So likewise, they will be preparing the project plan and they will be making an entire schedule. All right. So now planning is with respect to the everything. Okay, they'll be making the plan with respect to the material, in how much time this material will be coming. Then they will be making the plan that these risks will be there. So entire execution strategy will be there, but scheduling is very simple. It's related to the time only. Yeah, you guys, if you have any questions in between, just put in the chat box so that it is I'll be having that kind of visibility. So scheduling is very simple. So that's the difference in planning and scheduling. Planning is basically, it covers a lot of broad aspect, but scheduling covers time only. So in time, basically, we will be analyzing that, yeah, in this much time period, we are going to do these many activities. All right. Now there are 5 levels of schedule. So it's generally a question when everybody asks, either, if you are going for a outside India in your university, or you are going for an interview question, that how many level of schedules are available. So generally, as per the planning, there are 5 level of schedules. Should we do any separate course to work in PMO? So there is no separate work. So everybody will be working in a different portfolio in PMO. So these people will be planning engineer and cost engineer. So under this project planning, we are having the 5 schedules. All right. So in these 5 schedules, what is the difference and why these schedules have been created? So let's take one example. Okay. Let's say that you are constructing this flyover. So like I mentioned that we have to make the schedule. So then we will be making one very high level milestone schedule. Like I mentioned that if first 3 months will be for design and procurement, next 6 months for foundation, next 6 months for prefabricate work, next 6 months for completion of the execution activity. So this is a broad level milestone. So this generally helps the client and the executive committee of the company. Okay, in this way we are going to complete the thing. So no much level of detail is available. Then with the further schedules, we are increasing the detail. Now in a level 2 schedule, we are providing some little bit summary. Let's say for first 3 months, we mentioned that design plus procurement. Then we will be mentioning that, okay, so it will be having design, procurement of material, procurement of labor, procurement of plant and machinery, approval of the design from the client and the IIT. So this is the further summary level that has been prepared. So maybe company is a very big, big companies are having so many levels. So now first high level milestone level was prepared for the MD and CEO of the company. But level 2 schedule is available for that particular business head. Maybe particular that let's say for that infra head, he is looking for this summary level schedule. Then further we have given so much thing. So in this level 3 schedule, we have further provided so many details. So that will be for the particularly client and project manager. So that project manager on day-to-day basis, he will be having such kind of details. So in level 3 schedule, let's say after the first 3 months, then we planned another 6 months for the foundation work. So then in the foundation work, we will be mentioning that in this foundation work, we will be doing excavation or drilling. Then after the drilling, we will be pouring the we will be putting the steel cage. Then we will be doing the concreting. Then we will be doing the curing. So that will be mentioned in the level 3 schedule. Now level 4 schedule is for the construction managers under the project manager, construction managers. So they require more detail. Now if we are saying that, okay, concreting is there, then which pier concreting is there to happen, and under that concreting, what are the different activities that are going to happen, that will be detailed in the level 5. Like they will be mentioning level 5 further drill down, it will help the site engineer, foreman and subcontractor that shuttering will be happening on this day, and even at shuttering, then they will be doing the rebarring. So after the rebarring and shuttering, before that staging will be happening if staging is required. So such kind of activities further drill down at the lowest level, up to what we can go and drill it down, that will be explained here. So let's take one example how it will be happening. Now we have gone through the flyover. Let's take one example of the residential development. So in this residential development, firstly, this is the level 1. So here we have just mentioned like project milestone dates. So kickoff meeting, engineer's instruction, then we have commencement and starting of the project, then we have like completion of mobilization, approval, then approval of permanent water, substantial completion. So basically milestones whatsoever we will be doing, that has been mentioned here. Then further we will be drilling it down, that under mobilization what will be happening. So this is level 2 schedule. So similarly, we'll be having level 3 and level 4 and level 5. So on the left hand side, you can see that for this sample flat on the bottom side, we are having substructure, then under the concrete work, roof finishes, that is level 4 schedule. Now on the right hand side, you can see under the substructure, we are setting out, then we do have footings, stubbed columns, concrete protection, all these further drill down of the activities so that we can, track it on day-to-day basis, even with the available resources. So ultimate purpose is very simple. Level 1 to 5. Level 1, we provide the milestone type of summary. Then we further drill it down. At the level 5, we provide ultimate thing, that at the last, if we want to track that, yeah, what our labor or foreman or subcontractor he will be doing on that particular activity, then we will get to know that from milestone, that foundation, in foundation this pier number foundation, in this pier foundation concrete work, under that concrete work, then in level 5 this shuttering will be happening on this day. So this will be the level 5 schedule. So I hope now we have covered that, what is planning, what is scheduling, how many types of schedules are available, and why it is required. Because, once we know that by this schedule, we are going to complete the project, we will be tracking it. So therefore, the schedule is required. Now, how to prepare a schedule? Because once you will be going, it's not like that a fresher will be directly making a schedule. Okay, so managers will be there, he'll be directing them, yeah, how to make the plan, how to make the schedules. So but you should have a basic idea how to make a schedule, because for a planning engineer this is the main thing. Okay, so a project will be having a lot of items. Okay, so like I mentioned, if we are covering a flyover project, so a lot of items will be there. So first of all, we will be breaking it down, and we will not be breaking the entire scope. We will be breaking down the scope in a logical manner. All right. So for a flyover project, we can say that, okay, firstly, we will be doing the foundation work. Then we will be doing the prefabricated work at the casting yard, where all the girders that we will be doing. Thirdly, we will be doing the pier casting work. Pier means columns. So that we will be doing at the site. Then further, we will be doing the launching of these girders. We'll be transporting those girders, which has been prefabricated, and bringing it at the site level. So likewise, we have made some segments. Then under each segment, we will be having the different activities. Okay, so this is first way, first step is to do the WBS, is to make the WBS, work breakdown structure. After the WBS, then we will be making the activities. In that particular WBS, what will be different activities available? Let's say if we are making this pier, so first we have to do the, let's say this pier height is of 10 meter. All right, generally it is not of 10 meter, but let's say it's 10 meter. Okay, so now you know that up to which level we can do the shuttering. what should be the shuttering height. Okay, so generally it is taken as 1.8 meter or 2.4 meter. Okay, to improve the productivity and to complete the project in a fast manner, let's say 2.4 meter. So we have to do the level of 4 levels, 2.4 into 4 times, for example. So now we know that to make the activity, first we have to do at the ground, then we have to do the first level, second level, third level. So we have to do the staging work, we have to do the rebar work, we have to do the shuttering work, then we have to do the concrete work, then we have to do the securing activity. So all these activity for that one particular pier will be mentioned. All right, so similarly, let's say these will be the activities, and that comes under the 1 WBS work breakdown structure. So that is the pier 1. All right, so similarly we can also make the milestone is like that, which is not having any duration, and any activity will be having duration. Let's say that you are doing the concrete, so this concrete activity, it may take few hours or may take day or may take any time, but this milestone activity is of 0 duration. So if anybody asks what is the full form of the milestone or how you will be defining the milestone, so one form to say it, that milestone will not be having any duration. So generally we provide that this is the starting milestone and finishing milestone. So start of the project is the starting milestone, and completion of the project is the finishing milestone. So what we discussed, like WBS, milestone and activity. So once you will be doing all this, so you'll be making everything like this. First you'll be making WBS, then you will be making milestones which are having 0 duration, and then you will be making further activities. All right, so in this entire thing, you may see that in the activity name you can see the activity, then there is original duration, then there is baseline project start and baseline project finish date. So right now we have discussed that we will be having the scope. That scope is bifurcated into WBS in a logical manner. Under each WBS, we are having further activities. All right. So now we have got the activities. We have made the list of activities. Now what to do with that activity? So now we have to align all these activities. Why we have to align? Because then we will be giving a relationship. Then we will get to know that which activity will come after which activity. So that is why there are one methodology, which is precedence diagram method. Okay, who will proceed and who will supersede. So there are two kind of activities: predecessor activity and successor activity. Let's say for our example, flyover, the excavation and concrete is there. So concrete is a successor activity and excavation is predecessor activity. So one relationship is here, finish to start. So finish to start is the relationship which will be given to the 90% of the activities. Okay, so this is the activity, like once you will be completing the excavation, then only you will be doing the concrete work. Or once you have completed the rebar work, only then you can do the concrete work. So first, previous activity should be finished, rebar work should be finished, only then you can do the concrete work. So that is why it is called sorry, only then you, that is why you call it finish to start activity. Second is start to start activity. This is also utilized many times. Okay, so what is this activity? That start to start. Let's say that we are doing two activities simultaneously. One, we are doing the staging work and we are doing the rebar work. So both these activity can go in parallel. So the staging work, once it has started, then we can start the rebar work also. It's not like that it will be happening in the same time. So that is start to start activities. So there are total 4 type of activities that is available, for which we have to provide the relationship among all the activities. But usually for all these activities which you were seeing here, so we will be providing the relationship majorly finish to start. Okay. So next thing is the duration estimate. Okay, simple thing, we are preparing a plan. Okay, now firstly we were having a lot of scope available. We broke down that scope into a logical things which is called WBS. Under each WBS we were having activities. Let's say for this column work WBS we were having 4, 5, 6 of activities, and these activities we have aligned that first activity was like excavation, then after the excavation this staging, then rebar, then shuttering, and we have provided the finish to start of relationship and start to start of relationship. Now next thing is we have to estimate the activity duration. Now let's say that if concrete is there, so in one column of this 10-meter height we are doing the concreting in 4 times, 2.4 meter in one time. So for this 2.1 meter, how much time it will take, that we will be calculating. So generally we usually estimate the duration with respect to the resource productivity. Okay, so let's say this 2.4 meter is there, that is the height. We will get to know the length and width, and we get to know that okay, we have to do, let's say, 10 cubic meter of concrete. To do the 10 cubic meter of concrete, if we are bringing the concrete from the outside, from the some outside concrete provider through the mixer machine, so we have the labor, we got the material, so how much time it will be taking. So let's say that if we will be having 10 cubic meter of concrete and we got 1.5 tms, and we have certain labor and mason, so they can complete this 1.10 cubic meter of concrete in one day. So that will be the productivity. So we will be providing the activity duration, that in this duration we can complete this one level of concrete work of column. So 4 levels, so for concrete work 4 days. So like that we will be calculating the duration estimate. There are other methods also. So there are other methods also, like this analogous, parametric, 3-point. 3-point is basically it is done in the research, just like, because we do not know that how much time it will be taking to complete that activity. So we will be taking optimistic 4 times into mean and plus pessimistic and divided by 6. So that is generally the 3-point estimate. But usually in actual practically construction projects, everybody will be going with the resource productivity. So they will be checking that if we are having these many resources, based on their productivity mentioned, we can do the this any activity in this period of time. Now what we have done WBS, we have done activity, we linked each activity, we provided the duration estimate. Hey guys, if anybody is having any question, put in the please chat box. So now we want to see the how does it look like. Okay, so there will be so many paths available by which we can complete the things. So before that coming, so there is bar. Okay, let's say this concrete activity will be going on for this 2-year project, it will be going on for 6 months. Okay, so then different sections will be there in that flyover. Then each section it will be having different timing. So we can take the multiple path. Once I'll be coming to next slide, then you will be getting more clarity on this. But before that, how do we see the things in a chart? We prepare the bars that this activity will be completed in this time period. So that bar will be depicting the time period of that particular activity. So one engineer was there. His name was Gantt. So on his name, we call it the Gantt chart. All right. So now here in this blue bars on the left hand side, you are seeing WBS and activities. And on the right hand side, you can see that first activity, which is the substructure, it is planned to start on 1st September 22 and planned to complete on 1st November 22. So that bar is the bar. So this bar is detailing the time that in this time period, this activity will be completed. So it is, rather than, reading the things, it is very easy to look at the bar and to check the things. So this entire on the right hand side, this you are seeing on the Primavera screen. Left hand side, we have created the WBS, then activities. Right hand side, you are seeing the timeline with respect to the bar charts. Now, next, we have aligned all these bars. Okay, we have provided the relationship. So whatsoever you are seeing on the red color, okay, so that is the critical path. So now what is critical path? So critical path is the path if any activity on that path will be delayed even for 1 day, then the project will not be completing on time. It will be delayed. So that is why out of so many activities and paths, we have to give ultimate focus on the activities which are lying on the critical path. So critical path is generally defined that the float of the critical path is 0. Now, what is this new terminology, float? Okay, we'll be discussing. So now we have understood that one path is there, which is very critical. Okay, so if any activity will be getting delayed on that path, then the project will be getting delayed. Okay, now how do we define a critical path? Okay, so critical path we have defined that if the float will be 0, then that path will be called the critical path. So float is basically the time duration by which we can delay that activity. Let's suppose in this on the top, you are seeing the excavation. Let's say that if we can extend the excavation by 1 day from 7 days, which is mentioned in the original duration. So if we can delay this excavation by 7 to 8 days, so if that 7 to 8 days, the project is not getting delayed, then it is not on the critical path. But if the float is 0, okay, if we cannot delay this activity by even 1 day, so that activity is called the critical path activity. All right. So ultimately, the thing is we created WBS, then we created activity. After created activity, we provided the relationship to each activity. After providing the relationship, then we provided the duration. So after all doing all this, we got the critical path. We'll be getting so many paths. Other paths are also there, but we get the critical path. And we will be following the project with respect to that critical path. So here you can see that on the left hand side, activity name are there, start and finish date are there. Then we will be having actual start and finish date. Once we will be monitoring this project during the execution days, then we will be having the actual start and finish date. All right. Now we have prepared the schedule. Okay. Now we have to see that what are the other terminologies. Okay. So now it's not like that you have prepared the schedule and everybody will be accepting it. Okay. So because there were two parties, one was the client, second was the contractor. So sometimes what happens, until and unless the client does not accept the schedule, he does not have a faith that whatsoever schedule you are preparing, he does not get a faith that or believe that you will be completing, or he'll be asking to change it. So until and unless both will not get agreed, so that will not be called a baseline schedule. If the client will be accepting it, then it will be called a baseline schedule. Then according to that baseline schedule, the progress of the project will be tracked. And so many times what happens, the top management asks the project team or the planning engineer or manager to prepare a schedule, then they approve the schedule, the internal management even. So that will be called the baseline schedule. So basically baseline means that one thing has been finalized, or it has been made the base, that with that particular base or reference, the entire project will be tracked. All right, because the planning engineer prepares a lot of revised plans during the execution. Sometimes the project will not be happening with respect to the plan. Usually it happens, the project gets delayed. So therefore the planning engineer will be preparing a catch-up plan or revised plan, how they can catch up the things, or if the project will be delayed, how much time it will be delayed. But at the end, either the top management or the client, they want to check the project with respect to the baseline schedule, where we are standing. So this is the basic purpose of baseline schedule, to check to measure the project progress report. All right, next thing, now we have done the project planning. Next stage is the execution. It took few time, project planning engineer have done every activity. Now with respect to that project plan, the execution people, they will be doing the execution activities at the site level. So on daily basis, what happens, the site people, they will be updating the daily progress report. I have done this cubic meter of concrete, this much work of shuttering is done, this much work of reinforcement work is done, this much work of road work is done. So everything they will be making in the templates that has been provided and set up by the company, and they will be providing the daily progress reports to the planning engineers. So these planning engineers, they will be updating that project progress report with respect to the plan. So what they have done, they prepared the plan of 2 years, then they'll be breaking it to monthly, then daily basis, that this on maybe tomorrow they have to do the, yesterday they planned for doing the 50 cubic meter of concrete, then the actual site it will be coming, it may be 50 cubic meter, it may be 40 cubic meter, or it may be 20 cubic meter. Maybe the TM was not working, maybe it started raining after lunch. So then they will be updating the progress of the project on periodic basis. Then once this activity is done of the updation, then second thing is to control the schedule. Now we have the baseline schedule, which has been fixed either by the client or the top management. We are getting the updates on daily basis. Then we are checking on the periodic basis. Usually it is weekly or monthly basis, how we are progressing. Then we are checking that suppose in this month we have to do 1000 cubic meter of concrete, whether we did 1000 or 800 cubic meter. Let's say for pipeline project, we planned that we will be completing 50 kilometer of pipeline. Okay, that was the plan, but we could have completed only 25 kilometer, or it may be exceeding sometimes that we have completed 60 kilometer of pipeline. Okay, so likewise they will be evaluating with respect to the baseline. If we are lagging with respect to the plan, then the planning engineer will be making the revised plans. So they will be doing this entire activity till the end of the project. All right, so this will be the schedule control. So three parts are there. One, they will be planning during the initial phase of the project, then they will be updating during the entire course of the project, during the entire execution process, then they will be controlling the schedule during the entire execution process, whether the project is happening with respect to the plan or not. If not, then they will be making revised plans on regular basis. All right, last thing is the reporting. So this is very important aspect, because each and every person in a company, he is reporting to someone. Even the CEO of a company, he is reporting to the stakeholders. They may be stakeholders, and they may be having shares in that company, or to the public limited company or anything. So that is why reports are very much of importance. So what to do if it is raining continuously, so that work is affecting, so that work is not going according to the schedule? Yeah, that's a fantastic thing. So now I'll tell you very basic thing. So once a good planning engineer knows the weather conditions, so he has planned his entire project and scheduling with respect to the weather conditions. All right. If he has not planned considering the weather conditions, so ultimately his plan is going to fail. Second aspect, there are uncertain rain or incidences, some anything which is uncertain or which was not as per the repetitive, like a rain happens in north in July and August, but it's raining heavily, let's say in this month of October. So that they have to inform to the client, and then the client will be giving them extension of time. So those kind of clauses will be available in the contract. Okay, but it should not be regular. So it should be very uncertain event. All right. So that is part of the planning. Yeah, same way it goes with the local effects. So all right. So now let's come to the reporting. So reporting is very much important. Okay, either a planning engineer has to report to the both. He has to report his project manager, then regional offices, then top management, and externally he has to report to the client. So therefore he'll be making a lot of reports. He's making daily reports. He'll be getting the progress update from the site. He was having the plan which he has prepared. He'll be making daily report, weekly report, monthly report. Likewise he'll be preparing. So in this monthly progress reports, generally they'll be preparing all these aspects. What was the plan, what has been achieved, if any delay is there, what are the reasons of that delay, any abnormal conditions were there. It may be local conditions, it may be weather conditions, it may be strike from somebody, it may be political conditions, it may be like pandemic was a thing. Okay, then they will be putting, so they'll be putting a lot of things, and they'll be mentioning how this everything is going with respect to the MPR. I'll tell you, my first task in my GET period, graduate engineer trainee period in L&T construction in 2012, I was sitting on a desktop, and for each month, at the end of the month, I have to prepare the monthly progress report. So daily, once I was coming to the office, I was making daily progress report. I was sending it to my project manager and copying it to the construction managers, whatsoever the progress I was getting on. At the end of the week, on each Monday, I was preparing the weekly reports and circulating to all. And at the end of the month, then I was preparing the monthly progress report, and that monthly progress report was going to the client, and then it was going to the uh, top management, regional offices. So that was my first task which I was doing in the company. So by doing this task, we were doing the planning and monitoring, reporting I was doing. All right. So now we have to understand that we are doing a lot for this thing, but how to do this entire planning? So earlier what was happening, people 50 100 50 70 years back, that they were doing on the paper. Now last 20 years back, they were doing in the MS Excel. But now we do have softwares. Those softwares have been provided by the companies, software companies, based on the requirement by the of the construction industry. So one of the major software is the Oracle Primavera. You know why Oracle Primavera is important? Because it contains all the techniques to plan and monitor the entire project. Okay, because a project is having time aspect, they have resource aspect, they have risk aspect, cost aspect. So everything can be integrated, and with the help of this Primavera software, they'll be getting critical paths. They'll be these softwares will be helping them in managing. generally what happens, what we follow the Gulf, what the Gulf is doing, and Gulf follows what the Europe and US is doing. So now generally Gulf was doing the Oracle Primavera from last 5 to 10 years, or more than 15 years, starting from the 2000. So now we are following the Gulf in the same fashion. So every company, big conglomerate companies, they are asking the persons to be proficient on the Oracle Primavera. So if you will say for the Gulf, then definitely they'll be asking only one question, whether you know Primavera or not. Even in India, every company now is demanding for the Primavera. So guys, this is all with respect to the technical session whatsoever we have covered here. Yeah, is UK is using Primavera? Yeah, every country is using Primavera. So this is the as on date, this is the most proficient software for the planning and monitoring purpose. So yeah guys, now if you have any questions or any sort of query, don't be hesitant and ask. So I'm a final year student. Please say me which coaching should I take for job after completing civil engineering. Okay. Generally what happens, even that happened with me. What we do in the engineering, that is, that's not much industry relevant. So then each company will take you as a graduate engineer trainee. So why did they call you as a trainee? Because they know that we have to teach this guy everything into how to go into that company. So that therefore we should know about the techniques and everything, like in construction project management, how to learn the construction, how to do the construction. So therefore we should know how to manage the time, how to manage the cost, how to manage the contract. So if you will be knowing those things even now at a college final year, so you will be having a better aspect to compete with the other persons. Great. Yeah, Oracle Primavera, see, it's anybody can download it. There is a method for it, and you can utilize it for 3 months. So it's a very expensive software. Companies are using the software and they are paying 2 lakh rupee per person. But for a trial purpose and study purpose, the 3 month it's available. Somebody has asked that he's a fresher and 1.5 experience in real estate construction sector, how he wants to switch to the infrastructure sector. See, I'm not sure that you are a site engineer or in which particular role you are working. So that is why, there is a very simple thing. If anybody wants to progress in construction industry under the construction management, ultimate goal is to become the project manager. So to become a project manager, they should know project management. You cannot become a project manager initially, even after learning this. It takes a lot of time. But today I had a call. The guy was 46 years old. He is working as a site engineer from last 22 years. And now he wants to learn construction project management. So this is just one of the rare example I'm giving you. So at any point of time, they have to learn construction project management, because what does this project director or project manager does? Simple thing, they work for the money. Every project is there for money only, to how to gain the profit. So therefore they have to learn time, cost, and scope management. If they will be knowing these things, you can achieve anything in the your career. So if you are a student, third or final year, you should learn it now. Then you can focus on other things in during your professional level. If you are in the initial phase of your career, so if you are working as a site engineer or anything, you should learn project management, because if you'll be learning now, you can immediately grasp the things. People have learned this thing and they have moved from site engineer to the planning engineer office role, that I have seen in last couple of months. How can we learn to operate Primavera without actually working on a project? Okay, yeah, that's a good question. See, sometimes like in Skill-Lync, what is available here? So there is a program available here. They provide the self-paced learning program, and similarly they provide the projects. So what civil engineers that was not happening earlier. In computer science or BADS, everybody was saying that, yeah, I have done this project, I have done this project. They have mentioned in their LinkedIn profile, I have done 50 projects, but that was not happening in the civil domain. So now here, a lot of projects are available, which are the same, which you will be doing in the construction industry. Like for Primavera, one project is available, how to do the cable laying bridge in the Primavera. So you will be getting the entire case study. To do the case study, you will be getting all the assets, and then you have to perform that thing in the Primavera after learning that module. So then you can demonstrate it to anyone. Yeah, I have done this. And even before that, I'll say that you will get a confidence level. Yeah, okay, I can do this. So then you can demonstrate it to anyone. All right, many people say that civil engineer doesn't have any career. So what do you think about it? And I can feel that because I have seen many people with no job. See, ultimate knowledge is the thing. Okay, I'll say simply, I just told you. So you just mentioned somewhere that, national pipeline projects. So there are 8,000 projects that are happening in India. Okay, whensoever companies talk to us, so they say that there is a huge deficiency of the right talent. Okay, the right talent is not available. So that is why people say that jobs are not available. A lot of jobs are available. You search or anything, but the people are not correct, learning the right thing. They are not cracking the interviews. Why they are not cracking? Because they do not know what the industry wants. So that is why it is important. There are two aspects to see. You are on the other side, but you should put yourself into the shoes of the industry people. If I am taking the interview of a person, I'll be requiring him to know the industry things. So that is what the gap is there in the education. I'm a site engineer to become a planning engineer. How my site engineer experience is helpful? Yeah, it will be totally helpful for a site engineer, practically saying, because then the company will be thinking that you have gained much exposure at the site level. Now you have to learn the construction management techniques. You have to learn how to plan the project. Then you have to learn how to prepare the cost budgeting. Then you have to learn how to do the contract and subcontracting. And once you will be learning all these aspects, then the company will be taking you in any manner. You can see a lot of n number of LinkedIn profiles. Those were site engineers. They learned the construction management and then they moved to the different. Why our civil field fresher salary is very, very less? Softwares are high salaries, even they're freshers. So yeah, even you can say that, IITs, they are offering 1 crore rupees of package or 3 crore rupees of package, but that's not the package. That's a hype. What's the average package? Okay, so even an average package of IIT is 8 lakh rupees. So that means people are getting 8 lakh rupees, but out of 4,500 IITians, how many are getting 1 crore rupee of package? But everybody is saying that, yeah, they are getting 1 crore rupee package. So even in what requirement I'm getting, we are getting 6 lakh rupee for freshers. That is also the requirement available. All right. So it depends how much knowledge and skill you do have. Then with the same level of company you will be going. So minimum it starts with the 2.5 LPA and it ranges from 6 LPA. So now you have to see that how much knowledge you do have, which company we can target. So all these things will be happening. So it's not like that. Everybody is asking for the fresh, experienced one only. A lot of people are working as a freshers. I started my career as a fresher only. So uh, is Power BI is using in construction field? Yeah, it's the new thing and it will be coming. Power BI and MS Excel, they both will be utilized in the construction field. See, if somebody has asked that what other softwares are required for the construction planning. See, if you have learned Primavera, all the things are there. That's the most powerful software. Then you understood the psychology and terminology. Then it doesn't require that you have to go for any other software. It will take just 3 to 5 days because you have understood all the concepts and everything. So don't waste on your time, on these kind of things. You should see that how I can demonstrate that knowledge. You can demonstrate that knowledge by completing some kind of projects. All right. From where I can get those sort of projects and challenges. That should be the task for you. Yeah, hope I have covered all the questions. Can you repeat critical path and float with a practical example? Okay, let's say that in your project that there are 1000 activities, 1000 number of activities. So it will and you have provided the relationship of that 1000 activities, but it will not be like that out of all these 1000 activities will be coming on the critical path. Let's say out of those 1000 activities, 150 activities are coming on the critical path, and balance 850 activities are there which can be delayed. So that will be auto generated in the Primavera software. Okay, I'll not be going into theoretical one. So that is why these 150 activities, the planning engineer will be paying much attention. It's not like that on the other activities they are not paying attention, but it will be more attention will be paid on this 150 activities. If this activity will be delayed, their project will be delayed. Okay, I've got one question. I have worked as a design engineer for 1 year, but for growth, I've joined as a project coordinator in Bangalore. Please guide me what I learned to. Yeah, so the simple thing is you have to learn the construction project management. So the thing is, uh, I'll tell you very simple example. So first thing is the, either a fresher or a site engineer, anything. The next target is to learn construction project management. After learning construction project management and working in that particular role, then you will become the project manager, or you will be working as a project management controlling lead in the offices. So that's the goal. Yeah, don't go girls. It's for girls, so many friends of mine, they are working in construction project management. So you can learn construction project management. I'll give you so many example. One friend of mine, I was talking, she's working in contracts department. She's now got another job as a contracts head. Another friend of mine, she is working in the tendering department. So if a girl is learning the construction project management, definitely 99.9% chances are there they'll be absorbed as a office job. So right now, for Skillink Ramki Infrastructure, it's a very good company of the Hyderabad based Ramki Infrastructure. So they appointed 20 people from the Skillink out of those. So whosoever girls were there, they have been given the job at the head office. See, choosing, construction management, see, it depends upon your interest. So, once I was in the college, my simple interest was like that. Yeah, I want to opt the construction management because, there, every big picture is there, how to complete the project, how to handle this sort of money. Then ultimate goal is to become the CXO of some company after 20-25 years. So to become that, someone has to learn construction management. So it depends upon interest. Yeah, but a lot of job opportunities are available. 80% people work in construction project management. That's for sure. See, project management or construction project management. See, ultimately, in if project management, uh, so it's related to the construction industry. So that is why it is called construction project management. There is no other difference in it. For StatPro software, there are jobs for design roles. Yeah, hi Mehul. I think we have covered all the technical aspect.
All right. Great, Saurabh. But I have a couple of questions in my inbox. I'll just, ask those questions so that folks can get the, answers to their question. But I think a couple of questions they already asked you. I might be, repeating those. So if you have answered, just let me know. So the one question asked by Amay is like, how can I find a job after construction management, construction project management? I have done architecture degree, and also I am pursuing construction project management from MIT SEDE.
I don't know what is this MIT SD
I
one.
mean, might be a college
Yeah, it might
or
be a
some.
college. I know Massachusetts Institute of Technology, which is world's #1 college. So, but if you have done architecture, so I think it will be very difficult for you. But you can go for the project coordination role. But then again, you have to evaluate that why you are not going for your architectural role. I think she can have a one-on-one session or demo session with us, because we'll be getting more clarity about her previous role and future aspirations.
Makes sense. So I hope Amay, you got the required answer. I know it was not to the point, but as mentioned by Saurabh, you can basically, get in touch with us and we'll help you out with the further
Because we
details.
require more details to understand what happened.
Exactly. So another question asked by Anushri is like, what about PGET structural? Is there a chance of becoming a planning engineer?
Sorry, can you please?
PGET structural, is there a chance of becoming a planning engineer?
Yeah, it's okay because you have done the BTech, and once you will be doing some course and you do not have any prior experience in even design, I'm assuming. So you can go for this course and take up your role into this construction planning and management. So I got a very difficult question here. As you have experience in MNCs, which sector in civil gets paid more, design or management or any other? The thing is very simple. If 100 civil engineers are there, 80 people are required for the construction management. And ultimately, you can Google it today. Why I love construction management, because if I was an L&T, so the chairman of the L&T, AM Nayak, or the current chairman, SNS, they started their career as a GET. They were working for construction management. So any CEO, you take it from any construction company, so they started and they were doing the role for construction management. So that was the inspiration for me when I was in college, that one day, maybe after 25, 30, 40 years, I'll become the CEO, something like that, CXO. So that's the thing for me. Otherwise, it depends upon interest. Yeah, they are
Great.
paid well. And it's very motivational to say that CEOs of, like, I'll be saying that the biggest construction company in India, CEO is getting 100 crore rupee, more than 100 crore rupee per year. So the salary is 22 crore rupee per year, and they are getting stocks of 100 crore rupee per year. So that's the salary, that's the ultimate thing. Maybe you can get motivated from that.
Great. Another question which we are basically having like one or two question. Like currently, I'm working as a site engineer in normal company. How can I switch to MNC? If you have answered, you can skip.
Yeah, it's simple. Learn the construction project management first, and then you'll be getting the career guidance by, like, skilling is providing the program, so you'll be getting the career guidance. People are working like in Shobha Builder, Rohan Builder, Ramki. People have moved to L&T Construction, something like that.
So, how to start a career in construction management? I have completed my integrated MTech in 2020.
Integrate MTech in what subject? What in which subject you have done?
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I think Shushri Ananya, if you can basically help us out with that, we will be answering your question. PGET in L&T, is it good?
PG.
Asked by Anushri. PGET, I don't know what PGET is. It is. If you can, what is PGET by the way, Anushri? If you can basically, I think this is the second time you're using this word PGET in L&T. So if you can help us out with that.
Oh, I think it's postgraduate engineer training. So one is GET, and then it
Uh-huh.
is postgraduate engineer training. So she's working somewhere, or I don't know.
I don't know. She's asking in L&T PGET is good or not.
Yeah, it's good only. So see, ultimate thing is, you should make your career choices very simple, that I want to see my 30 years like this, and what's my next goal. So if you cannot make 30 years, make 5-year target. Okay, so then I do need a big construction company that is required. That's my first goal. Second thing, what's my specialty? So then I have to learn in first initial 5 years, and I should be knowing about these things, maybe like construction project management, so that I can advance my career in from 5 to 15 years. So like what you have to decide.
So the person who did MTech in structural engineering, so he did in structural engineering, so he is asking how to make my career, or how to get a job, right, in construction management, or
So
start a career in construction management.
you have to learn the program for construction management. So
So
the
how about Saurabh?
knowledge
I
is
think
everything.
a lot of people are asking the same question. I think so. So how about you can basically give a walkthrough about the construction project management program which we are offering, so that people get the clarity about what exactly they are going to learn in terms of tools, projects, etc. And in the meantime, guys, those who are keep on asking about certificates. So yes, yeah, people will be getting the certificate in 2 weeks of time through email, but you have to fill up the feedback form, which we are going to share in another 4 or 5 minutes.
All right. So guys, I'll not be taking much time. So simply, Skill Link is providing one course, and I personally, I really like this course. So because, it's more, what the industry is demanding. So under the courses, you can see civil project management and construction project management. So, in this program, there are six modules, and these job opportunities are there: planning engineer, cost engineer, if a experienced person is there, project manager or a project coordinator, GET if a fresher is there, or a procurement and contracts engineer. So this program consists of basically 6 courses. So first course is related to the construction project management fundamentals. So you will be learning, guys, what is the entire project life cycle, starting which we discussed initially, like starting from the tendering for each thing. Then second course is related to the project planning and scheduling. Here you will be learning how to plan a project, how to make up your mind how we will be doing the planning and scheduling. Third thing, the same, we have to learn with the help of Primavera. So you will be doing entire things on the Primavera software. So this is the latest software which I believe that everybody should learn. Fourth thing is the progress management, measurement and reporting. So here a lot of techniques are available, like earned value management, bar chart techniques, S curves, and you have to do a lot of reporting. You have to do a lot of communication. You have to write a lot of correspondences and letter that you will be learning in this course 4. And then fifth course is related to the project cost control. So you have to develop a budget. One beautiful thing is that construction projects are a lot of, they are either in 100 crores minimum or in 1,000 crores. So then you have to make the estimate of those projects. It may be of, how to make the direct cost, indirect cost, how to make the financial statements. Everything is done by the civil engineers. So you don't think that this civil engineer is just going to the site and he's just watching how the construction is going on. No, everything is done by the civil engineer only. So now in contract and subcontract management, how to read the contract, how to read the general conditions, special conditions, what is the international type of contract, that is FIDIC contract. Now big companies like L&T or Tata or Shapoorji, they don't do everything by their own. They will be deploying so many subcontractors, petty contractors. If they have to buy the material, cement, steel or anything, they will be buying it from the outside companies because they are the OEM companies. So how they will be giving the contract to these small companies? Then there will be disputes. So how those disputes will be handled? It's not like that any lawyer will be coming. So under this, a lot of friends who are girls of mine, they are working in this contract and subcontract management. So all these are the job roles which anybody has to learn in their career. If you are a fresher, you have to learn. If you are a student, you have to learn. If you are working from last 10, 15, 20 and number of years, and you do not know construction project management, you cannot become a project manager, that's for sure. You cannot become a regional head, you cannot become a business head, you cannot become a CXO of that company. And similarly, you will be having projects. So like one that you will be working on these projects, that how to do the tendering process for a metro project, how to prepare the reports and delay for a multi-story building, then how to prepare a project plan for a bridge construction in Primavera, how to do the make a plan for cable laying project, how to make a project budget for a residential project. So these kind of extensive projects will be there, on which you will be, demonstrating and practicing. So then you can demonstrate it to anyone. Yeah, I have done these kind of projects and I have gained the knowledge. So likewise, you will be learning all these aspects.
Great. I think that helped, a lot of folks in getting the clarity, like what exactly needs to be learned.